So today on Blade District, we are unboxing a Spyderco. This is a little guy. It is the Dragonfly, or Dragonfly 2 as they designate it now. I have never owned a Dragonfly. It's a tiny, small knife, but I believe the ergonomics are going to be pretty good on it. So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to have a couple other small knives to compare to it later. These reflections are getting a little out of hand. I'm going to have a couple other small knives to compare to it later in this video. Let's dive into it. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. We have a lot more knife unboxings, reviews, etc. coming, as well as some giveaways. So hopefully you guys can join along on the journey. Let's see. I'm excited for this. I like small knives. I like bigger knives too, but I've been a fan of always having like a smaller knife on me, even if it's not my main carry. Let it be if it's a fifth pocket carry or just there's a day or a time or whatever. We just want a smaller knife. Let's see. I think this guy is going to be a small knife that is going to feel like a bigger knife. That's just my guess. From the way Spydercos are, they usually do really well with that. Wow. Right off the bat, this guy's light. And right off the bat, as always, a super, super sharp opening hole. That is one thing I wish Spyderco did differently. You don't need super sharp opening holes to roll out a knife. For example, I don't have it right in front of me, but the Kizer Mini sheepdog. It's an oval, not a circle, but all they did was a tiny chamfer, and that tiny chamfer does wonders when you're opening it, especially when you're flicking it, because this guy, you're flicking it, it's going to eat away. It's literally just gripping my nail. It's going to start chewing away at your nails and everything. So anyway, that's just a little rant on that. Let's put this away and get back to the actual unboxing. So I actually went and grabbed that real quick. This is what I'm talking about. Do you see that? It's got a nice chamfer. You can see it better like on an angle probably. And this is smooth. It does not take away from any sort of opening at all. It's still very easy to open no matter what you do with it. This guy, on the other hand, just like a lot of Spydercos, this is extremely sharp. Alright, other than that, I love this blade. I've seen it in photos, never seen it in person. I love the way this blade is shaped. We're going to open it in a second. I think it's more of their leaf-shaped blade. And then it looks like we have a swedge coming down. I love the way this looks into the future. Depending on how much I like this, I might get I think it's a Warncliffe style if I recall correctly, the straight edge one. So we have a nice wire clip. It is not deep carry. The clip itself is like a deep carry style. But you're going to have about that much coming up. Not too much. Not the biggest, not the smallest. Alright, let's open it up. Well, let's see centering real quick. Hard to see. Is it a tiny bit more to this side? Maybe. Let's see. Let's open it up. Oh, that is smooth. That feels good. That feels good. Yep, this is what I'm talking about. Look at that. This just feels good in the hand. Super smooth. Oh my god, the way it opens. It's just super smooth. So you could obviously hold it down here and get less of a grip on it. And then you could use this really nice ramp up here, which is completely jimped. Just the way this is jimped down there. Looks like we have a little bit of excess oil peeking out through there. So you have the FRN scales that they use, which is kind of like that bi-directional pattern. They use it on the Delica and a few other knives. I don't mind it. Some people don't like it. I think it's totally fine. For the price, it might not be what you expect because we didn't talk about it yet, but this knife comes in at $73.50. It by no means is a cheap knife, especially for the size. Spyderco VG10, so they're using VG10 on this, which is a good middle of the road steel, I would say. Years ago, VG10 was a lot more popular. Now it's becoming a little phased out, it seems like. I really like the use of this forward choil up there. It just, like if you grab it like this, you get a really strong grip where you could start doing some slicing, and it feels really good in the hand. Out the box, maybe we'll test the sharpening in a second. Yeah, we got a lot of oil on there. Look down here. Maybe that's why it's so smooth. But overall, we have a 2.25 inch blade. that is going to be complete blade. So the sharpened edge is going to be much, much less. Let's actually take a peek at that. So they're saying 2.25, and that's what I'm seeing here, but the sharpened is going to be a hair under 2, as you can see. And that makes sense because you have this huge choil up there, which is really going to help when you're doing some harder cutting like that. And if you're not, this grip right here feels awesome. You can even just move up a smidgen like that if you want to do something. You can, with the big blade, you can use this opening hole as a way of holding it for more security if you would like. The Spydercos just do really good when it comes to ergonomics. All right, let's do a little comparables to this. First, let's weigh it because they're saying it weighs 1.2 ounces. Let's see if that's true. Is it really 1.2 ounces? Come on, zero it out. Let's see. We are on the dot. And we dropped a few pounds already. He's losing weight. And he gained it back. 1.2. We're calling it 1.2. 1.2 on the dot. Can we do a flick with this? He's a little too small. And if you do, you have to put a lot of tension this way. Well, you could. Like I said, I'm still holding this in my hand. Let me put this down real quick. So yeah, like I was saying, you could do a Spidey flick. It's just harder when it comes to lockbacks because you need to really force the, you need to put the force this way is what I'm saying. And if you don't do it, that's going to happen. So you really got to get it good. And then you can get it out. I'm not a fan of Spidey flicking lockbacks like the Delicas or stuff like that. And like I said, it's going to really chew away at your fingers. Let's do a little size comparison real quick to the bigger brother, which is the Delica. If anyone owns a Delica, this is what you could expect out of that. Just to kind of show the comparison of that. You don't have this beautiful choil. You can still definitely choke up on this. It's just not going to be as comfortable. So if we go pivot to pivot, you're going to see we have much more blade and much bigger handle out of these two. Just for a little comparison. This guy is still spitting oil out everywhere. All right, let's do some comparisons now. For other knives that are small blades, most of them, they're all going to be cheaper, to be honest, because this guy's pretty pricey. So, we got the Spyderco Dragonfly. I'm going to put you right there. Next up, I recently did an unboxing on the KJRB Mini Dozier. This is going to be the lightest of the bunch, probably the thinnest of the bunch. Came out a hair over an ounce when I weighed it. They listed as 1 ounce. I'll put a card up here if you want to watch it later. Let's put this down. We're going to have some info across the top as we go. Next up is the Cold Steel Mini Tuff Lite. This guy feels awesome in the hand. Probably the only one that's going to be similar to the Spyderco Dragonfly as far as how ergonomic it is and how secure you feel in the hand. But you check that out. This is like a box cutter. It's not really your everyday style knife. Then we have the CJRB Maileah, which is a front flipper that is ridiculously smooth, that you could open a variety of ways because you have thumb studs and everything. Have an unboxing with this, comparing it to some other smaller knives. Link that up here if you want to check that out later. And last but not least, the Kizer Lieb. Beautiful looking knife, Micarta, and the D10 is strong. I'm just re-gripping on purpose because D10 is strong, but it just flies. So, let's put these out real quick, and I'm gonna have some stats above for you guys. Let's just make this look nice for a second. So we have the Spyderco Dragonfly 2 coming in at $73.50. It has a 2.25 inch VG10 blade, FRN handles. The weight, according to the websites, are 1.2 ounces. Now the KJRB Mini Dozier. This guy, like I said, I have a review that I linked before. Out the box, it's almost like they forgot to sharpen it. It wouldn't do anything. It would not cut anything, almost. I sharpened it myself. It's a little bit better now. This guy's the cheapest of the bunch, coming in at $21.95. 2.25 inch AUS 8 blade steel. Zytel handles, which is more or less FRN Zytel. It's plasticky type of material. They say it comes in at 1.00. From recollection, it was 1.09 when I weighed it. Still ridiculously light. Then we have the Cold Steel Mini Tuff Lite coming in at a nice $27.99. Again, 2.25 AUS 8. Polymer handles, 1.7 ounces. So very similar, these three, in the sense of plasticky material handles, except this guy is over double the price of both of these. It's definitely worth more money, I'll tell you that much. It's up to you if it's worth the 70 and change versus the 20s. Then we have the CJRB Maileah, which is an awesome little front flipper with thumb studs, coming in at $34.95. A little bit bigger blade, not by much, 2.3 inch, and this is using CJRB's kind of proprietary steel, from what I recall, AR RPM 9. G10 handles, so a little bit of an upgrade from the rest of them on the table on the left side here, and a little bit heavier as well, coming in at 2.27 ounces. Then we have the Kizer Lieb, which is kind of the fancy one of the bunch, with these beautiful micarta, here, let me lift it up, these beautiful micarta handles, polished liners that kind of sit out just a little bit. We have the blue pivot, it just looks really nice. It's more of that sleek carry knife. This one is coming in more expensive than these three, at least, at $55. Blade is 2.32 N690. Again, micarta handles, and the weight is just a hair more at 2.71 ounces. So those are all the specs on these. Let's go over some other things that people are going to find very important. Which ones have a reversible pocket clip? This guy here looks like we do. We have reversible tip up. The K-Bar Dozier is also reversible tip up. The Mini Tuff Lite is tip down, and it does not look reversible. The Maileah by CJRB is reversible. Deep carry. So we have deep carry on this guy. He's the first and only deep carry so far. And then we have the Kizer Lieb, which, yes, deep carry, no to being reversible. Again, the action on this is incredible. So, what knife would you choose out of this? You want the lightest of the bunch, something that's going to just disappear? Well, you can't beat this, especially for the price. He's the cheapest, he's the lightest, he's the thinnest. Might not have the best steel, but you want something that's going to disappear, or fifth pocket carry, something like that. This guy will do the trick. Now, real quick, I'm going to play a little snippet for you to show you how unsharpened this guy was out the box. Because this is brand new, but I don't know. This does not feel sharp. Yeah, that's... wow. Come on. So that's a little disappointing. Come on. So now let's see. The other day I sharpened it. I just used a Spyderco Sharp Maker, the one that's kind of like the Y shape. You just kind of go on each side. It was nothing too crazy. I didn't go crazy on it, even though it did take me a very long time to sharpen it. It was something down here. I feel like the geometry, the edge, something wasn't that great. And by no means is it super sharp, but you just saw what it was doing. At least now we can cut a little something. So even if he comes out of the box not sharpened, once you sharpen it, he's not that bad, but he does suffer from a good amount of blade play, where you do not get that same blade play out of here. You get some, but not nearly as much. And you feel the quality in this one. I'm not here to just justify the 70-something dollars, because it is pricey, but the beautiful blade shape, the way they machined it up here, the ergos of it, definitely a great knife. So like I said, you want the lightest and the cheapest, Dozier Mini can't go wrong. Mini Tuff Lite, you're just going to do some crazy aggressive cutting, box opening, whatever. You want the strongest of the bunch with the triad lock. Well, you can't go wrong with him. You want a nice little fidgety knife with the front flipper over here, which actually works really good once you can get it, and surprisingly feels good in the hand. Besides, the pocket clip kind of hits me, at least. This kind of shape with this huge swoop over there actually fits really nice in the hand. You got some jimping up there. Lockup is 99% there, pretty good. And like I said, just drops like a guillotine. And then finally, the Kizer Lieb. You want something a little more sleek, a little more stylish, maybe something like an office carry, something that just, I don't know, pops a little more, and you want a flipper because, yeah, this is the only normal flipper in here, and the stainless steel sits outside. It just looks good, you know what I mean? It looks good. It's a little slippery with these polished stainless steel liners sitting proud outside the micarta. So if you're holding it like this, no jimping, a little slippery. But if you're holding it like this and you're doing some push cuts or whatever, then the grip is totally fine. Besides, here, I'm going to grip it really hard. Besides that pocket clip digging into there, but you know, that happens with most knives. So let's close that. Just rockets out. Again, I have other videos of all of these. I'll have some links below and everything. But let's just get the Dragonfly back in view. Oil's still spitting out of this. I'm excited for this one. I might put this as a 5th pocket carry, or it would be great in like gym shorts, lounge shorts, you know, those type of things, basketball shorts, because it's extremely lightweight. And this pocket clip, I feel, let's see, yeah, it's sitting on the non-grippy part, so it shouldn't be too hard to come in and out of the pocket. But that is it. Let's do a little bit of a cut test, just out of curiosity. See how this VG10 cuts right out of the box. Oof. Wow. Like butter. This is nice. No matter you want to go slow, quick, look at that. Alright, so just cleaned up the paper. That's going to be it for this unboxing. I'm excited to start using this guy. He's not the cheapest, but it's pretty sweet, and if I like it a lot, I might go with the Wharncliffe style as well. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead, give it a like, comment below. Let me know what you think about this knife, any other knives you have seen in this video, which one you would choose if you can only pick one as your carry for the day. Subscribe if you're interested in more knife content and upcoming giveaways, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.